Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for the latest aliens and UFOs encounters video. I thought I would mix this one in here while I'm starting a whole new playlist on the mysteries and oddities side. This one I debated placing it here on the aliens UFO playlist or on the cryptids and monsters side. You'll see why more here in a minute because the creature that's encountered within this video here, it can definitely fall under either category. And even then, I think it might even be its own separate category. Again, you're going to hear the details, including one startling thing that the creature did that again makes it seem like its own separate category. And on top of that, the user took a drawing. Like, in other words, they remembered what the creature looked like, and then they did a drawing, which you'll see that here in a moment. But it's from the reddit.com website. They're from the subreddit Humanoid Encounters. A user by the name of Anxious Custard 6208. They titled theirs, I think I had a first-hand encounter with a humanoid being 4 years ago. So let's go ahead and let's share that encounter here, and then let's try to figure this out. Is this on the alien side, or is this on the cryptids and monsters side? So here's what they state. As far as I can tell, nothing happened to us. We were not abducted or harmed in any way, but we were very startled, and I would almost say I startled the creature as much as it did us. It was nighttime, and I was at my boyfriend's apartment, hanging out in the bedroom, laying out on the bed, chatting, watching TV. His roommates were out of town. After a while, I hopped up the bed to use the bathroom. I was just being silly and dramatic for no reason and swung the bedroom door open all the way very quickly. All the lights in the apartment were off at the time except for the bedroom. As I started to take a step out, my body froze as I felt a presence. I took a second or so for my eyes to adjust and see that maybe 5 feet or so in front of me stood a humanoid figure with its arms in the air, sort of crouched at the knees, staring back at me, like how people put their hands up when they have been startled. Its eyes were huge black saucers, and its head were almost frog-shaped with a small mouth that was gaped open. It took me a second to realize what I was looking at, and once I did, I said, "Oh, blank." The second the words left my mouth, the figure shook its arms side to side very fast, accelerated into a blur that then went sideways, phasing through the wall and then disappearing. I immediately closed the door as fast as I could and stood there a moment to calm down and catch my breath. I was trying to rationalize, thinking I had just hallucinated the whole thing because I stood up too quickly. My boyfriend kept asking me what just happened, and I just kept saying I stood up too quickly and I was fine and tried to drop the subject. After a second, I felt calm enough and I went to use the bathroom because it was basically an emergency at that point. So I ran off and came back after it was done. My boyfriend was still very shaken up when I returned from the bathroom and was holding his phone trying to record the hallway as I walked into the doorway. Again, he was asking me what just happened. At this point, I knew we both saw something because why would he be trying to record the hallway? So I asked him to describe to me what he thought happened before I explained my side. And sure enough, he essentially saw this humanoid figure standing in the hall with a similar description and then zip out of sight just like I had seen. After the incident, I thought what I encountered was some type of ghost or demon. I had nightmares about it because I was so shaken. Having another witness really made the reality of the situation set in. After a lot of reflection, therapy, and lurking on this community, I have started to believe it was possibly an ET of some sort or interdimensional being. If anyone is interested, I'd be happy to share more details. To this day, I have not had anything quite like that happen again, and I have never met or heard another person with an encounter quite like mine. I can draw a picture if anyone is interested in trying to identify. Edit, I went ahead and did a drawing of what I saw. I know that it probably looks absolutely stupid, but I guess that's a big reason why I stopped thinking it was a demon, and then here's the sketch again. Then that's it. That's everything that this user, Anxious Custard 6208, mentioned in their pretty unique, pretty bizarre encounter. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that here, right? When I was telling you earlier about this being just, what could it be? Either aliens or something else on the lines, cryptid monsters, or maybe its own other category. I'm still mystified as to what this could be. I think the highest category that it falls under is something along the lines of aliens, maybe even a humanoid, something along those areas. Because putting it, let's say, in terms the lines of a ghost or demon, as the user was mentioning, I don't think it quite falls under that category. I don't think we've seen ghosts move their arms very quickly in order to be able to phase out of things in and out. And I don't think demons work in that type of area too. And then on the cryptids and monster side, it's possible. Someone let me know though, but I haven't heard of any of those cryptids having that same type of aspect. I mean, there's been cryptids that are shapeshifters and cryptids that take on other type of ethereal forms, but this, like something like that, where it looks almost like a frog, but then it phases in and out. It again falls more on the lines of an alien. And then you have the alien aspect of it just basically being like the user described in ET, something that is there probably inspecting things and then out of the blue was suddenly startled by the user trying to go over to the restroom. I mean, there was almost like a deer in headlights for both of them at that very same time, and then that's when it decided to do that blur. That was really freaky as well. In my mind, when I read these things, it plays almost like a movie. So reading that the figure shook its arms side to side very fast and then accelerating into some kind of blur, it was basically playing in my mind as if I was there within the hallway looking at what was occurring, and that would freak me out. I have no idea how these two individuals decided to stay there afterward, but they did. And then you hear the story about her going to the restroom and coming back, and then the boyfriend now having his phone out, clearly startled by something that he just saw. And so because of it, he in turn becomes the second witness, the witness that the user was describing earlier. The fact that this happened to one party and then another party, and now you have two people essentially watching the same thing, it gives you the idea too that whatever this humanoid was decided to stick around. It was startled at first, but it still decided to stay there enough to still be in the same hallway. That's pretty freaky. Now at that point, it almost seems like it's stalking them. And luckily, when I was reading the rest of the comments, I didn't see anything about the user stating that no, they had something else happen afterward or some other aspect, that made it tied to whatever this original encounter was. Who knows? But otherwise, that's it. It does make me wonder one last thing, if any of the roommates have encountered this creature there too. The user was mentioning something else in one of the comments about people being actively inside the apartment. So who knows if maybe there was something else that was occurring there too. If they were, they didn't post it afterward. But otherwise, let me know what you guys think. What is this? Was this an alien? Was this a cryptid monster? Was this a ghost demon? Was it something else? Let me know. Post those comments. All right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.